What's going on, everyone? Today we are taking a look at a new folding fat tire e-bike. This is the GoTrax F2 2.0. The one I have here is in black with some white and red accents, but this bike also comes in white and blue as well. One thing I really like about this bike is all you have to do is buy the bike and it already includes everything you need right from the start. With other e-bikes, you got to buy yourself a bag, some mirrors, and so on and so on. But with this one, with the bike, they actually include this little bag right here that clips on under the seat. So right here is a little button and you just unlatch that and this whole thing slides off like that. Right now it's not fully coming off because I have this little thing tied here. And inside this bag they include a very nice folding lock. You got a phone mount, and then you have two bike mirrors that go on your handlebars. So definitely cool and not something I've seen be included with any other bike standard without any extra cost. All right, so diving into the specs, in back we have a 500 watt motor, and as you can see it does have their GoTrax branding on there, which means most likely the motor was made and tuned specifically for this bike. Coming to the other side, we have hydraulic brakes with 180 millimeter rotors, and as you can see the brand on the brakes is Nut, which overall is usually a pretty good brake. Powering the bike, we have a removable 48 volt 10.4 amp hour battery, and that's hidden inside the frame here. I'll show you that shortly once I fold up the bike. Looking at the tires, we have 20 by 3-inch fat tires. I love the size of these tires because I feel like they're the perfect compromise between a smaller commuter tire and a larger fat tire. Just a good middle ground, not too thin, not too fat. So you're not going to get too much rolling resistance and it won't make the bike harder to pedal. And as you can see, the brand on the tires is Duro. Looking at the lights, we do have a built-in front headlight, and as you can see, it does have a good amount of brightness. Coming to the back, we have a tail light, which also lights up and gets brighter when you brake as well. As you can see here, the bike does include fenders, and these are metal. Then you have a rear rack, and this has a maximum carrying capacity of 55 pounds. Coming up to the bars, you have a half twist throttle, a 7-speed Shimano shifter, a built-in bell, then lastly you have your controller over here. Coming to the middle, as you can see, we do have a color screen and it is nice and bright with a lot of contrast. Looking at the screen, you have your speed, your pedal assist level, then your odometer at the bottom. You could also toggle through a few different settings down there as well. And then last but not least, you have your battery percentage here at the top. As I said earlier, this is a folding e-bike, and to fold it, it's just 2 simple steps. So you have this little latch right here. You push this up to unlock it, flip that down, and that'll release your bars like that. And then for your second step, you have another latch here. Again, another little safety lever there to make sure it doesn't unlock on you while you're riding. Unlock that, flip that open. 3 steps actually, because I forgot this also has folding pedals. To fold these, you just push them in, and that'll flip down just like that. And then this is what it looks like when you have it folded up. As you can see, nice and compact. So if you want to store this in your trunk, take it in your car, it's very easy to do that. Or if you want to store it in your house, you could just fold it up, put it in a corner, and it's not going to take that much space. Looking at the battery, this is what it looks like. And as I said earlier, it's stored right here inside the frame. Once you have it inside the bike, it does lock in from the bottom, so you don't have to worry about anybody stealing it. To remove it, you just got to unfold the bike, unlock it from the bottom, and it just slides out right here. Last but not least, the bike is water resistant with an IPX4 rating and weighs 58.3 pounds. All right, so first impressions, riding this bike without the motor, it's not the hardest bike to pedal, but it's also not the easiest as well. Most of the time, a commuter e-bike with thinner tires is going to be easier to pedal. This has a good middle of the road tire, and I think it pedals as it looks. It's not as hard as a full fat tire e-bike, but it's also not as easy as a commuter e-bike. It's a good compromise, good balance. If you ran out of battery, you're not going to have a hard time pedaling home. Again, it's not going to be the easiest to pedal, but you'll be able to do it no problem at all. Some of these e-bikes I've tested are very, very hard to pedal. And if you ran out of battery in one of those, you're definitely going to struggle and most likely mess up your leg. The seat feels very comfortable, nice and soft. Glad that it comes with a good seat, not something I have to replace. Riding position feels comfortable, and as you can see, there is an adjustable stem. So if you're someone taller, you could also raise these much higher as well. But right here, this feels like a good comfortable height. Overall, so far, not bad. Nice and comfortable little bike so far. All right, let's go ahead and turn on pedal assist. All right, so pedal assist 1, a little bit quicker than I expected. Getting about 12.8 miles per hour, about 12 miles per hour. I did unlock the bike. It comes factory at 20 miles per hour, and Through unlocking it, it let me bump it up to 25 miles per hour. If you want to unlock your bike, you simply hold down the plus and minus right here, and that'll bring you into the settings, and then you just click on this side button a few times, and one of them will, I don't remember what number it was, but at the bottom here, it'll say 20 miles per hour, and it lets you raise that up to 25 miles per hour. So maybe that made the pedal assist a little quicker, I'm not sure. But yeah, number one, about 12 miles per hour. Number two, 15 miles per hour. Pedal assist 3, about 17.5, 17.8-ish. Pedal assist 4, all right, right about 19 miles per hour, I start losing connection with the bike. Right now I'm pedaling, but it's kind of just loosely spinning. But pedal assist 4 looked about 20 to 21. 21 was probably with the help of my pedaling. All right, pedal assist 5. Yeah, right about 21 miles per hour. That's when your feet kind of disconnect and you're not really doing much anymore. Ooh, good speed though. It looks like a little small bike, but it goes a little quicker than I expected. Pedal assist 5, I was getting 25 miles per hour. I think if I push it and I have a little more space, I could probably get up to about 27. So let me get a path here with a longer stretch. All right, here we go, top speed run. I'm definitely gonna get a workout on this one with these pedals. Let's see what we can get. Already up to 24. Press a little harder. 25. All right, so it does look like it's stopping me at that 25 miles per hour mark. Right when I hit 25, I felt the bike let off and start holding me back. I feel like if I was able to unlock it a little more, I could easily get about 27 out of this bike. But as is, 25 is the maximum you're gonna get pedaling. Let's go ahead and test this out, throttle only. And it looks like it capped me right at 20 miles per hour in throttle only. So the unlock does not work for the throttle as well. That only works to give you a little more speed on the pedals. So not the quickest bike, but I think for its category, for its price, definitely a good speed. My wife has an e-bike that can go up to about 28, 29, but the speed that she prefers to ride at, that's a good, enjoyable cruising speed for her, is usually about 13 to 16 miles per hour. So I think this 25 on pedals or 20 on throttle should be good enough for most people. And I think anyone who wants a faster bike isn't going to be looking at this kind of bike in the first place, and they're obviously going to be looking for something, you know, with dual motors or 3,000 watts or whatever. But definitely a good bike for people that don't want to go too quick. Just saw a guy in an e-bike, which is pretty rare in my area, but good to see e-bikes catching on. Suspension feels good. It doesn't have a rear suspension, but thanks to these fat tires and this soft seat, you don't feel the bumps too much in the back. And then if you wanted to add more comfort in the back, you could always add a seat post suspension. They're about $100 for a good one. There's some cheaper than that, but I wouldn't recommend getting the cheaper ones. They don't work too well. But about the $100 one from Suntour, definitely a good option to get. And yeah, I slapped that on the bike, and that's really gonna up the comfort to another level. So yeah, if you get this bike, I definitely recommend getting that, regardless if you think the bike is comfortable enough or not. Once you slap that on, it's just a night and day difference, and makes it a whole lot more enjoyable. Let's go ahead and test out these brakes. Oh yeah, nice and smooth brakes. Good modulation, so if you wanted to make a smooth stop, you can do that very easily. Also very quiet as well, no loud rubbing or anything like that. And then if you're going quicker and you want to make an emergency stop, it has lots of bite to skid that rear tire very easily as well. I was surprised that this bike has hydraulic brakes. At this price point, it's very typical for bikes company to cut a corner and put mechanical brakes. So definitely happy to see those on here. If you haven't had hydraulic brakes, it's definitely a night and day difference compared to mechanical brakes. But don't get me wrong, mechanical brakes work fine. They can stop you no problem. But with hydraulic brakes, it's just so much less effort in the handles. And then it also gives you that much more sudden and sharper bite as well. At top speeds, I will say this motor is a little noisier than usual. Below about 15 and under is not too bad, but once you get up to that 20 miles per hour mark, that's when it starts screaming a little. It's not obnoxiously bad, but compared to a lot of other bikes, it does have some extra noise. If it's your first e-bike, you probably won't notice it, but if you have another e-bike, you'll probably notice that's a little bit louder. Yeah, overall, this is definitely a solid little bike. It's a nice and small bike, so you can fold it up and throw it in your back of your car or the trunk very easily. It isn't the quickest bike out there, but again, for this class and this price range, I don't think anyone's trying to go that quick anyways. So yeah, overall, if you happen to be shopping for an affordable e-bike, this is definitely a solid option to look at. I know you can get some cheaper bikes on Amazon, but usually those are some no-name, very garbage e-bikes, so do not get tempted by the low prices. Do not buy some no-name, generic looking e-bike. It'll be fun at first, but a month or two down the line, you're really gonna regret it. So definitely save your headache and money and go with a more reputable brand like this one. So yeah, once again, if you happen to be shopping for an affordable e-bike, you don't need that much top speed, or maybe it's your first e-bike, this one here is definitely a very solid option to look at. All right, that about wraps up this video. As usual, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a comment and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.